So scholars, you just saw how to multiply a double digit by another double digit whole number using the area model. Now we're going to be talking about multiplying a double digit by a triple digit using the area model. So let's get to it, young wizards. So we have the problem 255. Yes, 255 times 15. As you can see, we have a triple digit right here. This number is a triple digit. There are three numbers in it, 1, 2, and 3. So 255 is a triple digit times a double digit number, which is 15. So let's look at this. The first thing we have to do to this problem is do something that starts with the letter D. It's decompose. Yes, decompose. So let's decompose these numbers so that we can then create our area model and multiply it out and then add our answers together and have our answer to 255 times 15. So let's do this together. The very first step is to decompose, meaning that break the number apart. And we're going to break it down by its place value. So we're going to first look at the number on the left, which is a 2. But it's not just 2 because of its place value. We have to look at which place value it's in. So let's see, we have the ones place, we have the tens place, and we have the hundreds place. So that's telling us there's two groups of 100. So it's 100 plus 100. And we know two groups of 100 equals what? 100 plus 100 equals? Absolutely right, 200. So the 2 is really 200. So you decomposed part of this number, but we've got to keep going. Now we're going to look at the next number. We're going to look at the 5 in the middle. So we have the ones place, and then we have the tens place. So the second 5, the 5 in the middle is in the tens place. So it's telling us that there are 5 groups of 10. So it's 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and we put the other plus 10 right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know 5 groups of 10 equals what? 50. Well, let's see. Let's check it. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 10 is 30, plus 10 is 40, plus 10 is 50. So 5 groups of 10 equal 50. Now, let's look at the next 5. And that 5 is in what place value, you guys? It's in the ones place, so it's really just representing 5. It's 5 groups of 1, which is 5. It's like our fingers. There's 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger, 5 fingers. 5 ones. That's how we got 5. So if we add this, 200 plus 50 equals 250, plus 5 equals 255. So we have that correct. Now let's look at the next number, which is 15. And we've done this one before. We did this in the last problem, so this should be easy for us. We know that the 1 is really in the what place? The tens place. So that's saying there's 1 group of 10. And then we look at the 5, and just like the last problem, that 5 is in the ones place. So that's 5 groups of 1. So it's 5. So if we add 10 plus 5, that equals 15. So we've done this part. We now have decomposed the number 255 into 200 plus 50 plus 5. That equals 255. And we've decomposed 15 to 10 plus 5. Now let's create our area model. So I first make my rectangle. And we all know how sloppy my handwriting is, so I apologize in advance if anything gets sloppy. And I'm not using dry erase markers, so I can't erase it, so bear with it. So we have our rectangle, this very fancy rectangle that I've made. Now we need to determine how many times to split it. And remember, I like to start with the smallest number on the left-hand side. So the smallest number, which one's smaller, 255 or 15? 15 is a smaller number, so I'm going to do that on the side. Let's see. There are how many digits in the number 15? How many numbers? 2. So I know I only need to split this side twice. So what I'm going to do is make a line right here. And that tells me I can now have what I need to have. I can have my 10 right here plus my 5. So I have 15. I have my 10 and my 5 right here. The part that I've decomposed, I now have it right here. Now I look here at the top part. And let's see, how many digits do I have in the number 255? It looks like I have one more than I have in the number 15. So I have how many altogether? 3. It's a triple digit number. That means I need to split this into 3 groups. So I'm going to make 1 right here and 1 right here. So I split that into 3 groups. And I know this number is going to be 200. I know this one is going to be 50. I know this is going to be 5. Remember, these are all adding together. Now let's check to see if we've done this part right. 10 plus 5 equals what? 15. Okay, so we've done that part right because we know we were working with the number 15 and we created 15. These two numbers that we created are from when we decomposed 15 and we did it correctly. Now let's say 200 plus 50 is 250 plus 5 equals 255. Which is what we were starting out with. So we did that correctly. Good job. Give yourselves a round of a little pat on the back. Good job so far. Now it's time to multiply. This can be the tough part. But we know what we're doing, so we're going to be alright. 10 times 200. Now we know that anytime you multiply a number by 10, it's going to move the number you're multiplying by on the place value to the left. One time if it's 110. If it's 100, then we know it moves it how many times? 2. But we're working with 110, one group of 10, times 200. It's going to move 200, each one of these numbers to the left once. And it's going to give us a number 2,000. And we can check this using the algorithm if we like. Let's do that right here. 200 times 10. 0 times 0 is 0, space saver. 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 2 is 2. I add them together, 0, 0, 0, and 2. 2,000, that's what I got, 2,000. Now we go to 10 times 50. 10 times 50 is going to move the 5 and the 0 to the left once because we're multiplying by 10, so it's going to move it to the next place value. So it's going to become 500. And we can check that using the algorithm. We go 50 times 10, 0, 0, space saver, 0, and 1 times 5 is 5, 0, 0, add them together, 500. I got 500. I got 500. Now we got to do 10 times 5, which I think you know this. 10 times 5 equals what? 50. Very good. Then you can check it on the algorithm too. If you need to, or you can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 10 groups of 5 equals 50. Now we're going to multiply 5. 5 times 200. And we know that 5 is half a 10. So if I'm timesing half a 10 times 200, I should get half of this number. So half of 2,000 is 1,000. Let's check that using the algorithm way as well. Let's go 200 times 5, 0, 0, 10, 1,000. 1,000. Good, we got it right. Now 5 times 50. Let's see what happens. We know it's going to be half of 500 because 5 is half of 10 and we were multiplying 10 times 50, so we can go 5 times 50 is going to be half of what 10 times 50 was. So it's going to be 250. We can check this using the algorithm way. Let's check it right here using the algorithm. 50 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Gave us 250. And then we know 5 times 5 equals what? 25. Yeah. Whew. This part is done. Now we must do the last step in this whole thing. We must add all these together. But before I do that, I'm going to backtrack. I want to look at how we got everything. So we got 2,000 by going 10 times 200. That equaled 2,000. And then we got 10 times 50 equals 500. And we checked that using the algorithm and we got 500. And then we did 10 times 5, which gave us 50. Then we moved down here and we did 5 times 200, which is 1,000. And we did 5 times 50, which gave us 250. And then we did 5 times 5, which gave us 25. Now we're going to add all of these together. So we're going to start with 2,000, then 500, 50, Remember, we're lining up their place values. 1,000, 250, and 25. Woo! Look at all these numbers we're adding together. But that's alright, because we know how to add. So 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. Then 0 plus 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 0 is 0, plus 5, ooh, so 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So put the 2, carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 5 is 6, plus nothing is still 6, plus 0 is 6 still, so 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8, so put the 8 down. Now I move over. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my answer is 3,825. So 255 times 15 equals 3,825. We just did this using the area model. That's how you do it. Now you're going to practice this on your own. You guys have this. I believe in you.